Hey guys, this is Gregory.
And this is John Gurry.
Well, rejects. We wanted to talk a little bit about something, during a little segment of ours called How It Could Work. I think it was the creator of The Purge was doing an interview, and he's talking about, I think, in a couple interviews, about how he thinks The Purge would be a cool television series. And before he did that interview, I was telling John that I think it would be a really cool TV series. So it was pretty ironic that around the same time he said it too. I wanted to give just my little idea of how I think it could work. I don't have specific characters or plot points in mind. I just have a concept for how I think the show could be handled. Okay. I think what a lot of people would probably do, might consider is The Purge is 12 hours. And so a lot of people probably imagine a 12 episode season where each episode is like 1 hour. And it'd be great if it took place in real time on Netflix, and so we don't have commercial breaks or some kind of cable show where you don't.
It's like a full-on hour.
Yeah, like a full hour.
40
not like
minutes.
It's not like 24 where it's only really 45 minutes within the hour.
But that 15 minutes is where he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Takes a shower.
What I think would be cool, would be a better touch to it, is instead of just doing 12 hours, 1 hour, I think you do the 12 hours, you keep it in real time, but I think the first episode of the season should be before the purge is happening, before we hop into real time.
Definitely.
Because it would allow us to really set up because that's part of what makes the movies effective, is the setup leading up to the purge. So I think the first episode, it would be great if that was all the character setup of what's going to lead, of what's going to have the purge happen, what's going to happen with the purge. What I would like to see from this season is of the show, if it works, one thing I love about American Horror Story is how they constantly switch up the horror genre every season. I know they change the whole cast and everything, but it would be cool to see them have a specific kind of horror genre per season as well.
That'd be cool. Because
the first Purge, I haven't seen Election Year, just to be honest. I haven't seen Election Year, but the first Purge was a home invasion thriller. First Purge was a home invasion thriller. Second one, I don't know the word for it, where they're out on the streets and actually seeing the Purge happening.
This is kind of a violent... like a really violent, fucked up action movie.
So I feel like every season, it doesn't have to fall, if they had multiple seasons in mind, it doesn't have to follow the same characters every season. Maybe you bring a couple if you want to. But I think it'd be cool if you went to different parts of America and different parts of the world also have the Purge going on. That way you can explore a whole new set of characters every single season, but they're all within the same, Purge universe. Kind of like how the movies are working. Frank Grillo's in part 3
He carries
and
over,
2.
yeah. But it does seem like each one is a look at a specific situation on Purge night for specific people.
Yeah, exactly. Or my other idea that I thought could work for it is if every episode is just 1 hour long that covers a different
person.
Yeah, a different person in the Purge.
I think we're thinking on a similar level, because there are a couple ways that you could do this, and you could go
across both of those.
You could, you could check back in every few episodes with different characters.
How The Walking Dead goes from, sometimes they focus on these characters, but then they focus on these characters in another season.
Yeah.
There are episodes where you just don't see Rick.
Yeah.
They could do something like that where it's sometimes the whole cast is together, some episodes are not. Or it could be something where it's just exploring a completely different new story. Like a Twilight Zone all within the same Purge universe.
Yeah, well, I think The Purge has a lot of potential to be mined as a TV show, because there's a lot of stuff you can cram into it, and I know a lot of people see the movies, and some people want even more of a sort of fleshed out political subtext, and that's something that you could definitely sustain over the course of a show. Or you could, on the flip side, if you wanted to go in a more episodic route, you could make it where you could explore different ideas within the Purge, get a little more fluid with the tone and the style, mix in other elements and genres that don't always have to be carnage in the streets necessarily. But I think it could work, in both of those ways. Either as an episodic, each one's kind of like a Twilight Zone of crime, with a different person. Or you could do that sort of, we pick a few characters that we start to get to know, and then we follow them for a while and kind of check in and out.
Actually, I did come up once with that could be a Purge story. What I imagine, because I forgot what the stat is that they say in the movies of how much crime has gone down, and how there's only a small percentage of crime that actually occurs throughout the year.
Yeah, it's crime drops 90%.
Yeah, 99% of crimes.
Most crimes have been assuaged.
So I thought okay, that small percentage of crime is there a criminal boss that's happening that has some kind of organization operating within the time when the purge is not happening, and he really profits on the night of the purge in some way? Like, I thought, like, there's still crime going on. So what if there was, like, some type of criminal, like, I mean, Al Capone.
Yeah, do people pull off organized operations during the purge as well?
Yeah.
Or is it just primal chaos?
So I thought of a story where there's a criminal who they know is, like, they just can't pin anything on, like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Where they know he's the bad guy.
Clean.
We just can't
Clean.
we can't pinpoint anything on him. We don't have enough evidence. So, like, a secret group is tasked with Suicide Squad. A secret group at Suicide Squad work well in the purge.
Suicide Squad, the purge. Perfect. Then Crash Fast and the Furious into it.
You gotta stop crashing Fast and Furious in these movies.
Every movie can become Fast and the Furious. It's only
They
a
haven't
step
even
away.
crossed into one movie yet, but you constantly pitch
2 degrees.
crossing Fast and the Furious.
Never gonna let that go.
No, but I thought it would be cool. They, like, task a secret force to go find this person and kill him on the purge, because it's illegal for them to have this task force operate together. So they are kind of like a Suicide Squad in a way, where it's like their mission has to be secretive. It's illegal, but they can't find any evidence to pinpoint to pin on this guy. So they have to take advantage of the 12 hours of the purge and find him and kill him and do illegal things in order to uncover who he really is.
Oh, they want to kill him.
Yeah, they want to uncover who. They want to get rid of him because they feel like he's like a big link into how the crime still operates in America.
Okay.
So he's the villain of the year when the purge is not happening.
They gotta have a really good reason that they waited until now, but yeah.
The law has to stay within the law in order to go after criminals.
Yeah, so the
they're
purge
gonna
is out of your jurisdiction.
So yeah, they're gonna.
There is no jurisdiction.
Like someone, I don't know, Frank Grillo gets put on the team or some shit. Is on the team, and this team is doing something illegal to kill this guy, but they're using the purge as the night to actually go and do it, because that's the one night they could get away with it.
Yeah, they're pulling some kind of intense job on purge night that involves killing this guy.
Instead of watching good guys trying to survive 12 hours, you're watching
bad guys trying to do bad things to bad guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's the night of evil, man. It's the night of evil.
TV is a good place to explore the darkness because, a lot of us watch it late at night in the dark. Yeah. It makes sense.
That's just one concept. I mean, that's the cool thing about a purge show where you could have so many different kinds of stories going on and don't have to work so much within these. Like, I constantly feel, even with the Purge Anarchy, I really liked it. I really liked that movie a lot, actually. I still felt that there could have been more to explore. That's the thing with the Purge, though, is that because it's a movie, you need to have the horror, the action, the thrills.
It needs to be an exploitation movie with some bigger ideas in mind.
Yeah, but then I constantly, and then based off what a lot of people are saying with election year, I still feel like they hold back on what they really can achieve, and I feel like a show is the perfect playground for something like The Purge.
Most definitely.
The way how horror plays on TV now, with American Horror Story and The Walking Dead, I think, like, a Purge show would fucking do awesome.
Yeah, it probably would. You could just make it The Walking Dead of human cruelty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like new groups of interesting, colorful people and exploring different sides of that. And I think what works about a TV show, again, is The Purge gives us a view on everybody, or at least it tries to. So you see the people at the bottom of the social ladder, the people in the middle, and then the politicians who dame the whole thing and run it. And that's the cool chance. That's where you could almost get like Black Mirror with it. Mm-hmm. Like really make some crazy political allegories. So like maybe the episodes flip and tone that way. Or it's like this episode's like Violent House of Cards, and now this episode's like Breaking Bad. Like,
And one thing too is that because The Purge is a studio horror film, studio horror tends to be the weakest when it comes to violence in films. When I watch American Horror Story, and if anyone has heard anything about the latest episode of The Walking Dead, you would know that these shows can go so disturbingly violent. They go really violent. And I feel like The Purge is a playground that calls for something like that.
I don't think they've skimped on that, though. Like,
I haven't seen anything in The Purge movies where I'm like,
a half studio movie. Like it's mostly footed by two independent studios, and then they have Universal's push for the distro. But like,
I don't know. I've seen every episode of I've seen most of American Horror Story. I've seen The Walking Dead, and the violence on there completely outweighs anything I've ever seen in the Purge films.
I saw the Purge election year trailer in the theaters, just the trailer, and I was sitting there going, this is... I was a little unsettled. I was like, this violence, because it's all realistic. It's all just people in costumes being terrible to each other. Like, that violence, totally. I was like, that's pretty disturbing. That's a little more grungy and a little more exploitation film than I think a big studio horror movie would ever get.
That's okay. You're talking in terms though of what playground the Purge movies are currently under, the umbrella that they're currently under.
Yeah, but
I feel like on a show they would this is a chance to really showcase like serial killers at its most extreme. Showcase people like doing.
Because you have more room to do that.
Yeah,
I think the movies do get at least a little extreme, but you could definitely get more extreme on TV.
Yeah, and it's weird, because TV, but for some reason TV allows you to go way more violent.
Well, because there's no confusion. If you're a TV station, you're like, we're gonna make the Purge. It's like, you know what you're.
There are things I've seen in American Horror Story that have almost made me throw up.
Yeah.
By how it's like a Saw movie, like the last few Saw movies. And I feel like the Purge is violent for sure. I'm not sitting here saying like it's not a violent film and it's not at times disturbing, but while it can be sadistic with its characters, I feel like that's it would be a great show to show sadistic with its characters and the violence all at once, where I feel like the violence would really add to the specific movie as well.
Yeah, because you get more space to learn about characters and to feel out motivations.
Because the Purge is a great world to explore. I think the concept, like when everyone heard the concept, everyone wanted to shut up about it.
Yeah,
you heard about this movie where crime is legal for a day?
It's a fantastic concept.
It's like, and then people debated, no one would ever do that. Like, I don't think it would ever happen, but imagine if it did. Like, that's a cool ass concept.
Yeah.
So
it lends itself really well to an exploitation movie, but it also lends itself to a pretty interesting TV show.
Yeah, I think for a TV show, you could explore the political themes, you could explore the psychological themes, you could explore so much more than just exploitation and violence. That's when the story and the concept can really come to a brand new medium, a new height, a new level, is when you have the time of a show to do that.
If you make it a character study, because the movies all kind of thrive, I guess, on the same kind of tension as, oh God, like, are they going to make it through the night to do X, Y, Z? Like the second and the third movie, they have, further goals than just survival, but still it's, can they survive? Whereas if you did a TV show, you could have a different question than just can they survive.
And I feel like there's other room for other kinds of, sick activities to occur. I don't want to go into big detail right now.
Oh, you could get totally inventive with the exploitation.
Most of Purge is primarily, just like blood violence. There's other forms of disturbing things that you can use your imagination on that you won't see in the Purge movies. But I feel like you can go that fucking batshit crazy on a show, though.
You would have to, that's the thing that I think is a great idea about a Purge show, and also a very worrisome idea, because I'm like, you better have some great writers, because if you're gonna explore,
back up that kind of shit,
if you're going, because that's the thing, is the Purge movies, you mostly explore people's urge to kill each other.
Yeah.
And there are lots of other crimes and lots of other terrible crimes
that can be just as damaging.
Yeah, and you can explore those on a show, and I don't think that's territory that shouldn't be touched, but I feel like you're going to have to really make sure you handle that the right way.
Yeah. I feel like Rob Zombie could step in and direct an episode finally. So Rob Zombie did a Purge movie.
I would love
that
to
would
see
be
Rob
the
Zombie's
most
Purge.
batshit insane film.
I would definitely see Rob Zombie's Purge.
That's I'd be like, yes, please go and make these all Southern characters. I don't give a fuck.
Because the Purge would exist then.
Yeah, exactly.
The Purge, and that's something.
A Rob Zombie Purge movie would be fucking intense and amazing, because it's the one excuse for something like Rob Zombie to come in and go, yeah, here's all my fucking sick thoughts on paper for you guys.
No, and then you could apply that to so many other people.
Yeah.
You could really go batshit with the style anthology, because then you could get different directors. You could do Eli Roth's The Purge, which would have a bunch of douchey college kids going out and getting way over their heads on Purge night. Or you could do, not to pigeonhole Adam Winger, but you could do a VHS style one.
Yeah.
Or you could do, you could do just about anything. You could do one of those episodes where it's like, we're going to focus on this one lone purger who always goes out and he's always going to be okay, but not this time.
Yeah.
You know, like that solitary, like it's only one character the whole time, pretty much. Like, you could do so many cool kinds of stories.
It would be cool to have, like, I think either one of the concepts, somehow combining them of,
you could
would totally be fucking awesome.
You could either do it where every few episodes you throw in a vignette, or every few episodes you just throw in an unrelated story.
Yeah.
Like you break away from the main serial plots, and then you do an episodic one here to just explore.
It could still be going within, like, the next, like, from 2 to 3 p.m. or whatever time the purge occurs.
Yeah.
Like, this is from 4 to 5 p.m.
Again, if you really constructed this, like, really crafted this, you could almost have, like, a nice woven thing of both intertwined storylines that will ultimately hit each other or ultimately all conclude, but then you can also explore tangents.
Yeah.
So you can have, like a side quest here and there. And
feel
have it be still worth the show's while. You could get a little more experimental with how you're telling the story and do a little more character study stuff. Because really what the Purge would be is just the study of that day.
I feel like
what it does to people.
I feel like taking each episode and putting, because 12 hours is perfect for a show, because every hour of it would be so fucking, like, that it would be a great excuse to have, like, one episode where it's just primarily, just Walt and Jesse talking while they're chasing the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have that 1 hour, and the Purge, like, not every hour has to be the most intense fucking hour.
Yeah.
I hope they do it. I feel like they're probably going to be able to do it.
It seems like
and I hope if they do it, they go with basic things, or I hope they go with a cable network that does not have commercial breaks. And I hope that, because that would also allow for violence as well, and I hope that they have it take place within real time. I would go more for that instead of, like, a completely separate Purge story.
Yeah.
Or it would be cool is, like, every episode takes place within the same day of that Purge, but every hour is focused on a different group. That'd be a little too much.
Well, you could just do that and cut back and forth between a few.
I want some kind of
split the
real
difference.
time. I want us to feel like we're spending the 12 hours in the Purge. Like, if I binge watch this. Like, I think this would be a great Netflix show. Like, you release all 13 episodes on Netflix.
It would be
so you
perfect.
can just binge watch it,
You make the first episode an hour and a half, and you make it the hour and a half before the Purge starts, and the next 12 are all
the real
different
time
hours
of the
day.
Purge. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd
Maybe
be
make
really cool.
Maybe make the last one like an hour and 10, just so you can see what happens after the Purge. Which, but yeah, no, I think
I
that's
can just
definitely a good
imagine
idea.
the first episode ending. The Purge will commence in 5, 4, 3, 2. Cut to black.
Cut to black, and just instead of music over the credits, it's just the siren. It's just the siren, and the sounds of like, and slowly fade in. Just chaos, just screams.
That would make me want to watch The Purge. Like, just the final opening of everything leading up to this.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be fucking intense.
Well, and that's the thing, is this could be a really cool opportunity, because this could be the time, this could be the first, let's say, movie to directly just transition smoothly into a show. It's not like we're digging something up and making it a show, which works, or, awkwardly divergenting a show. When something...
Other movies are doing it, why can't we?
Yeah, it's like the Purge movies have been successful. They're clearly, at least in terms of viability, they have momentum, and this could be a cool chance to actually go, you know what, we might be able to make this even better on a different format, and we're gonna do that. Like, you know. So I hope this works, and I feel like it very much could, So
You can still do your Purge movies if you want.
Dude, combination universe, every now and again somebody makes a reference to Frank Grillo, but just a little one.
Yeah.
The thing
Like the big green guy.
The thing that happened with the senator?
The incident in New York.
The Grillo incident. The Grillo incident? I gotta learn that character's name.
I'm making MCU references.
Yeah, but just treat it like that.
Yeah.
Just do that with
They just put it in the MCU world.
Yeah. Hawkeye could have a whole episode, because Hawkeye goes out and purges for the weekend when he's bitter about not having much to do. Just goes out for target practice.
Stay off my lawn.
That'd be cool. He just goes out and shoots bad people and purges. He just polices the
When
purge.
that
from
Hulk's
above.
allowed to Hulk out.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. See, that's the thing, is the Purge is such a great concept. You want to see what every world looks like under those circumstances.
The one universe where it's okay that Batman kills.
Yeah, just Batman goes out and wastes so many people.
I'm gonna get rid of all my rogue gallery tonight.
Or at least all the city's petty criminals.
That would be a cool show.
That's why crime...
Other movie characters or comic book characters in the Purge.
That's why crime has dropped so much, and that's a whole side story we haven't explored, is because superheroes have just killed so many criminals.
They're like really good except that one day of the year.
Have you noticed the crime statistics drop after every Purge day? Like, huge numbers.
That's why they've dropped.
That's why Superman feels so weird in those new movies. He's like, I've killed hundreds of thousands of people. And what is it all for?
Alright guys, well, that's how we think the Purge show could work. If you're new, that was a good episode.
That was a good episode.
If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe today, become a reject.
Join us!
John is the social media manager at facebook.com/therealrejects and facebook.com/bloom. Wait, Blumhouse does the Purge.
Blumhouse does the Purge. Yeah, with Platinum Dunes.
Talk to them, John.
With Platinum Dunes.
The social media manager has the most ultimate power, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I am the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Everything goes through me, baby.
Because
Facebook is the future.
office employees, Jason Bloom, John Humphrey.
Yeah. Like, Jason, this isn't going to get you more Twitter. Let me tell you.